Today we are filming the beginner's guide to the Nurburgring Nordschleife, how to tackle your first lap and how to learn the Nürburgring. We're going to take it pretty easy, show you the ideal line and guide you through it, talk you through it. So as we approach the first section of the Nordschleife here, you can see there's some bollards down on the left and some cones up ahead. Only once you've exited the cones does the action begin. Conditions today, sun is starting to shine. I think it's around 3-4 degrees, so naturally that means you're not going to build much temperature up into your tires. Obviously there's going to be less grip because everything is really cold. So as you pull away, you should I wouldn't redline the car because you want to just warm things up. You need to bring things up to the temperature. So I think for the first at least 2 kilometers, take it easy in terms of how hard you're being on the car. Here we are coming into Tiergarten through the compression. We're going to come all the way over to the left-hand side, and effectively this is a 6-gear chicane. You've got to be nice and smooth with controls. We're going to come towards the 202, down to 4th gear, right over the white line, and now we come down to 3rd gear. We turn in, nice and smooth. All right, all the way over to the left-hand side. There's a right-hander coming up. Important to dab the brakes before you turn in, get the car nice and settled, and then allow the car to run wide on the left-hand side over here. Come all the way over to the right-hand side. Don't go over the white line, just towards the white line, then turn in. Apex. And then let the car flow wide all the way across to the right-hand side over here. Hug it close to the curb and then release towards the 2 kilometer sign. Brake in a straight line and turn in. Look nice and far down the course here so that you can see where you're going. Close to the white line and then again, release towards the outside of the turn. Down to 4th gear, then down to 3rd gear. Turn in and hold the same steering input the whole way through. All the way until you turn left for Hatzenbach over here. No brakes, no throttle, just coasting all the way over to the right and then back over to the left-hand side over here. And then you can get on the gas towards Hoheichen, which is treacherous and very slippery in the wet, so take it easy. Once you see the tarmac change color, then you can get flat on the gas and drive it down towards the right-hand side over there. So now we're looking nice and far ahead. We're coming up to Flugplatz over here. Just gonna turn the traction control off. Alright, we're going to lift over Flugplatz, not too close to the left-hand side, and now we're encountering our first car. So we'll come down a gear, we go all the way around the outside. I've got my indicator on just to show him that I am coming past. Come close towards the curving on the left-hand side and let it flow out towards the right. So this becomes one long continuous corner, and ultimately what we're doing is we're bringing ourselves towards the compression just over here. We come over the jump towards the line on the right-hand side. 5 kilometer sign is our turn-in reference. We turn in, we stay in the gear that we're in, so we don't downshift. And once the tarmac changes color, that's our signal to get on the brakes and come all the way down to 3rd gear. Nice and wide on the right-hand side, and then turn in. Apex, and then start running it wide. And now we're coming down towards the foxhole over here, towards the 93 marker. Run it wide. Alright, we have a Ferrari in front of us, so we're just going to flash him once or twice and then we can go through. Very important when you're coming down the foxhole is to keep your eyes up in the compression here. Look where you want to be. And you want to brake in a straight line over here. Turn in. So we're in 5th gear, we're going to leave it in 5th gear. Now we're going to come down to 4th gear. Coming towards Adenauer Frost. We're going to look at the yellow graffiti on the other side of the track, move the car all the way over, and now we can start turning in. And very important is that we go wide on the entry so we can get wide on the exit. So we compromise the first part a little bit over here. Close to the white line just over there. Close to the white line on the right just over here. And we're not going to come all the way over to the left. We're going to brake a little bit across towards the middle, stay in the gear that you're in, and then turn in. So you notice the 103 marker board over there, and that's what you use as your reference. Very important here is that you come down to 3rd gear. And what we're going to do is we're going to apex just over here, apex on the 2nd side over here, and then come over. After the jump, we're on the brakes, down towards Kellenhardt, wait for the white dot, turn in. And now you can start feeding in the power. So we're looking at the track conditions over here, and it's starting to get a little bit wet as we come towards the the bottom of the racetrack. So I'm slowing down just a little bit over there through Piff Paff. Now we come through to Miss Hit Miss. We turn in over here, we miss the first curbing, we apex on the second curbing, looking nice and deep and far across the corner, and we run it wide towards Forsython. On the brakes, in fourth gear, leave it in fourth gear, turn in, a little bit of trail braking, now come down to third, go wide, then turn in. So we leave it in third gear, but I'm flat on the throttle over here, and I'm really driving it out towards the 90, which is my reference point just over there. Now we're coming towards the white line kinks over here, and once it kinks, we turn in. On the brakes, wait until you straighten out, look through the corner over here, first apex, let it run wide, same steering input, it's going to bring me all the way back over here. Dab the brakes hard, then turn in, keep your eyes up and open the wheel so you can effectively steer with the wheel as open as possible, and that way you will get more traction out of the corner. Through louder links, nice and easy on the throttle, on the brakes. We're going to come down to third, very late turn in, and now we're hard on the gas. We're going to use all the road on the exit over here. So we're using every last inch of the road. We're looking towards the 11k sign, that's our next reference point. And we're going to go wide to the right, and now we're going to turn in. So I'm still in fourth gear, my first apex is there. My second apex is here, and as I get to my, call it third apex, I allow the car to run wide. Gentle through this turn over here, look nice and far ahead, open the wheel on the exit. And there's another little apex over there. So now we're climbing up the track, through Keshelton, coming up to Mutkurve. We're going to turn in over here, straighten up for the little jump over there. And what we're going to do is run wide to the right, downshift to fourth, keep the momentum, turn in and feed in the power. We're going uphill, so we can use a lot of power through here. So there's a car up ahead, I'm flashing him just to let him know that I am here, that I am faster, and now I'm going to turn in. Alright, so he's sort of thinking about letting me past, and now he's decided he's going to let me past. Through towards Stylstrekker, nice and wide, turn in, apex, looking through the corner, allowing the car to run wide all the way through to the curbing. Now head straight towards the Marshall point, right at the entry of the carousel, the 143, on the brakes, down to third gear, turn in, off the brakes, always look up ahead, just to check what's happening up ahead. Doesn't make too much of a difference if you go really fast through the carousel, so don't think that you need to make up time by going extra fast through the carousel. Run it wide, all the way across to the right hand side, little lift, turn in, and then allow the car to come out towards the right hand side. Alright, this corner over here for beginners, we downshift to third over here, but we can get on the power. And that's so that we can drive the car, open the wheel as much as you can on the exit, because there's a little jump over there which can unsettle the car. We apex just over there, we come close and we let it flow over that bump and towards the 154. Brake, turn in, straighten it out in the middle of the track, brake again, turn in, come close to the left hand curb, and then close to the right hand curb, and then allow it to flow out towards the left hand side. We brake in the compression, we turn in, one steering input. Alright, so we're going to leave it in fourth gear, we're going to turn in just over here. We're going to have one steering input, and it's going to bring us all the way across to where we need to downshift to third and turn in. And now we can get on the power. So I'm going to leave it in third gear, I'm going to let the revs build, brake nice and firm before we get to Brunchen 2, and then you can get on the power. Open the wheel on the exit to feed in the power. On the brakes, down to third, turn in. Very important that once we turn in here, we want to go straight as soon as we can. We're going to come over the hill towards the 169, putting our indicator on to the right to let a Porsche through. He goes through, nice and courteous of us. We come towards the jump, brake before, jump, brake again, turn in. So there's a rhythm there, brake, jump, brake, turn in. Over towards Flansgarden. Cool, all the way out towards the 174. Up to fifth gear, down the hill. So we're not flat through here because it's a little bit wet. Straighten up over there, come towards the left and then across towards the right so you don't force yourself wide over there. Towards the tree up ahead. We're going to brake, come down to fourth. You see the bushes on the left hand side? That's my turn in reference. Look nice and far ahead through the corner. End of this curbing, down to third, and now we can turn in over here. We'll let it run wide on the right hand side over here. on the brakes, down to third, and turn in. Mini carousel, let it flow on the exit of the carousel. Alright, so we're coming up to the last corner, Golden Cove, dab the brakes, turn in, allow it to flow wide towards the 186, lift towards it, now get on the gas, but not flat, now I'm flat on the gas, apexing and running it wide, use all the road on the exit over here. We're going to give it gas all the way across to the Audi bridge, known as the gantry, and there you have it. That is one lap of the Nurburgring Nordschleife, and that is essentially the ideal line for the beginners. When you're doing your first laps, the best gears to be in for learning the track and for being safe, and that's what we would recommend you do. So we're going to go out and do another lap now.